Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. Today, we're going to learn about looping statement, the most common control structures in programming that allows you to repeat a block of code multiple times based on a condition. In this example, we've created class looping statement. Inside the main method, let's create a simple for loop. So, we have done to our simple for loop. A for loop has three key parts. First is initialization. This creates a variable I and set it to 1. This is where the loop starts. Second is condition. This tells the loop how long it should run. In this case, it runs as long as I is less than or equal to 10. Third is increment. This increases the value of I by 1 after each loop iteration. Inside the loop, we have this line of code. This prints the current value of I during iteration of the loop. Let's see what happens when we run the code. As you can see, the output looks like this. The loop starts with I equal to 1 and it increases by 1 with each iteration until I reaches 10. When I becomes 10, the loop stops since the condition I less than or equals to 10. Since the condition is I less than or equals to 10. Now that we've covered the for loop, let's move on to another type of loop in Java, the while loop. The while loop is similar to the for loop in that it repeats a block of code multiple times, but it works a bit differently. So, let's start declaring integer variable I equals to 1. Next, we have the while condition. The loop will continue running as long as I is less than or equals to 10. Inside the loop, we have prints, which prints the current value of I. After printing the value, we increment I by using I increment. Now, let's see what happens when you run this code. Here's the output of our while loop. As you can see, just like the for loop, the while loop starts at I equals to 1, prints the value of I, and continues incrementing I by 1 after each iteration. The loop stops when I reaches value of 10. Now that we've covered both the for loop and the while loop, let's take a look at the final loop type in Java, the do while loop. This loop is unique because it guarantees that the code inside the loop will run at least once, even if the condition is false. First, we declare int I equals to 1. The loop begins the do keyword, meaning the code inside the curly braces will execute before the condition is checked. Inside do block, we print the value of I is plus I, and then we increment I. Code runs the condition while I less than or equals to 10 is checked. If it's true, the loop repeats. If it's false, the loop stops. Let's run the code to see the output. Notice that the output looks like the same as the for and while loops. However, the key difference is that in a do-while loop, the code inside the loop executes before the condition is checked. This makes the do-while loop useful in cases where you need to execute at least once, regardless of whether the condition is true or false. And that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you understand loops in Java.